I don't know if anybody's been noticing or paying attention because I don't upload like that much. But I've been incorporating this chair into my videos more just because I feel like it's more personal when you sit down and talk to people. I always wanted to be able to have that space where if somebody had problems, I could sit down and talk to them like one-on-one personally, and we can have a conversation and get down to the bottom of it. In my videos, I'm the only person with problems, and y'all just basically sitting here listening to me talk. But that's fine too. Originally, I wasn't even gonna do a video because I thought about doing a video last week, but I noticed a lot of my videos are starting to go towards the I hate people kind of vibe. And I was telling my mom about it because my mom said she stopped watching my videos because she feel like I'm depressed all the time. She's like, you always look so depressed in your thumbnails, and how you expect people to watch your videos? And I was like, well, I guess I found my niche. Because it's not that I'm depressed. I'm just being real about my emotions. And like I said, I wasn't gonna upload a video, but the other week I saw one. YouTube told me I had a new subscriber, and it doesn't usually tell me that. Like a message just popped up from YouTube. I'm like, okay. So I went to look because last time I checked, I had like 18 or 19 subscribers, and then it showed me as one person. So I'm like, all right, I got I think it was 18. So I'm like, all right, I got 19 subscribers. Let me just see right quick because I haven't checked my channel in a while since I basically upload a video, post about it on my different social media, and then dip for like a month. And I saw I had 21. So I was like, okay, I finally hit 20. And you know, that's not a lot in the grand scheme of things, but it's still a milestone for me because of the fact that I've had this channel for like over a year. I posted like almost 200 videos, so I had to have had this for 2 years by now. I think sometime last year I was talking about my 1 year anniversary or whatever. Or was it earlier this year? I don't know. The day is starting to run by, so. But yeah, I'm happy about that. I told my mom, she kind of laughed because, you know, her channel that she don't even post on no more got like 60 something subscribers. She just laughed because, you know, I'm happy about my little 20, but it's something because the whole reason I make YouTube videos is to kind of reach out to people that might be going through what I'm going through. And even for myself to kind of document the different emotions. It's like a video diary, basically. Is that what vlogs are supposed to be? I know it's like video logs. Is it like literally logs of whatever it is you're talking about? Because I guess for people that's on YouTube, like you see vlogs and you expect people to actually do things, not just sit around and talk about their emotions. So I don't know if that counts as a vlog. Doesn't really matter to me. The point still stands that I make these type of videos to document my emotions throughout the years. Well, throughout the time that I've been on YouTube compared to past, and like I don't even watch any of my old videos. But I do remember in the beginning I was a lot happier. I was more nervous. I wasn't as articulate because this was something new to me. I was still trying it out. But after seeing that I got 21 subscribers, I'm not going to say it motivated me, but it did help me look at it like, okay, it's the little things like that that pushes me to keep going. Not that I would ever give up doing YouTube anyway. It's just I take long breaks because a lot of times I don't feel like uploading a video because there's something I want to do, or it's just I don't want to make the same type of content every video. But it's not the same. It's even if it is the same, it's like subtle changes. My mind works in a way that even if I deal with the same problem, I look at it from a different perspective and learn a different type of lesson. So I want to pass that on to whoever may end up watching my videos. I do that in real life. Why not document it and do it on my channel for my benefit as well as for whoever ends up watching it? So, like I said, I wasn't going to do a video, but I saw that, and then I kind of talked about this topic a little bit on my Snapchat and my Instagram, because it's just something I've been thinking about lately. So in my last video, I know I mentioned how I was tired of paying for other people's mistakes. And it's like, I still have that same sentiment, but it's not so much, it's not mistakes, first of all. People know full well what they're doing, and they don't really consider you. So I want to tweet that. I'm not tired of paying for people's mistakes. I'm tired of letting people's mistakes affect me more than I should, or than they should. Because there was this friend that I had. I know it's always a friend. I've dealt with this like 4 times, being deceived by people's seemingly good intentions. Because like I was saying on Snapchat, we have these gut feelings that lets us know the type of people we're dealing with. I've always had these feelings, but over the years, I haven't dulled my senses, but I've learned to distrust them because what's presented to me isn't what my gut is telling me. Now it's just like somebody tries to come off as genuine, and I can tell when they are or when they aren't. I get this weird feeling, like literal goosebumps, when I feel that people have ill intentions or are distrustful in their words. I think the goosebumps comes from the fear that I'm gonna make the same mistake in trusting somebody again who I shouldn't trust in the first place. I had this friend. It's literally been back to back to back. These 3 people that I've talked about over the course of late my YouTube era, all hung out together, all were really cool with each other, all gravitated towards me, all messed me up some way mentally. First girl, we're still cordial because she told me off rip that she was like, I had to teach you a lesson about the type of women you could be dealing with in life. You know, me not being as experienced, because the last time I had a girlfriend was like 6 years ago. So, you know, I respect her for that. You told me, and we're still cool. Like, I've done a lot of dumb things, but it's like, I understand. Like, that's a lesson that I needed to learn, that I didn't learn because I made the same mistake again, and the other person is just not a good person. And I fight so hard for relationships that I shouldn't be fighting for, because at the end of the day, none of these specific people that I've looked out for have my back. And even the people that I look after nowadays, they're not always there, and I don't always reach out to them because I don't feel like it. It's not so much that I don't feel like it, it's just I don't feel like being vulnerable with people, because it's such a weird space for me to be in. I've let the wrong people in before, so just being vulnerable to a certain extent really doesn't, that's not a space I'm trying to be in. But that girl, I fought so hard to try and like understand what was the problem, when I should have just let it go after a certain extent. And sometimes relationships, they start off bad, they get better, and then they end even worse. Sometimes it's good, it stays good, and then it gets worse. I've dealt with enough toxic relationships to kind of know the cycle of it. So it frustrates me when I see other people in these type of toxic relationships because they see how it affects them, but they don't understand that they need to let go. And the hardest thing about dealing with toxic people is that they won't let you go as long as they know there's a possibility that you can still come around. My biggest problem was the fact that I always say I'm done. I'm done. I'm not going to do this anymore. First type of tear, sadness, anything, I'm mad, but I'm still looking out for them. That's always been the thing that they thrive off of. And that was one of the biggest things she played off of, was the fact that she knew that I was still going to care about her at the end of the day until I stopped. Because it's just literally so mentally damaging looking after people when you're not even 100% yourself. Putting other people above your own mental health can damage you. Trust me, I see the effects that it has on me, and I see the effects that it has on other people in similar situations to mine. It's so damaging, but it's a lesson that we need to learn. Now, this last person was actually 4 people, but the 4th person is still around, and I just don't deal with him like that anymore because I just see it. And it's like I'm kind of forced to be around you, but I'm not dealing with any more of the BS because it just frustrates me so much. But this last person did a thing. Didn't think nothing of the thing. Neither did I. Thing came back to bite me in the butt. Person goes away. Not surprising. Well, it was surprising. No, it wasn't. The surprising thing was I was talking to my dad about it. And my dad was like, well, you knew it was wrong when you heard about it. You're just mad because now it's actually affecting you. And that person isn't around anymore. And he was saying a lot of other stuff about, how that person isn't really your friend. Or even if they are, their motivations still outweigh whatever your relationship was. And I always knew because this person had a particular, I'm not going to say infatuation, but had a particular relationship with something. And this something was something that was always talked about. It was always a lack thereof. So I can understand, like looking back, it makes sense. Your motivation was never really towards your relationship with me per se. Like you might have liked me as a person at some point, but I shouldn't have put it past you to overlook our relationship to obtain what it is that you feel like you lack in life. And the hardest thing with toxic people is the fact that they either don't understand that they're toxic or they'll do everything in their power to make you feel like you're the toxic one. This is something I've seen in one of my friends' relationships that she hasn't been able to get out of. One of her problems is the fact that she doesn't feel beautiful without makeup on. And if she ever ends up watching this, you know who you are. I'm not trying to expose you. I'm just saying that this is the type of things I see that's very damaging mentally when it comes to dealing with toxic people. She doesn't feel beautiful without makeup on, even though to me, I'm not going to say she looks literally the same, but she still looks perfect the way she is. She doesn't see it because her toxic person has put in her head a bunch of negative stereotypes about herself. So when she's not wearing that mask, that's all she sees. And that's frustrating to deal with and to know that somebody is dealing with that. And me dealing with my toxic people have changed me so much. Like I didn't realize how damaging it was until last week, because that's when it really started hitting home to me, the toxicity of the relationship. I don't feel like I said that word right, but I think you guys understand. It's just like some stuff happened And my friend that was actually directly related to, well, not related to, but would directly be affected more than me. She was kind of losing it a bit, and I felt bad. Like, I've never been so frustrated until like last month about everything, because I'm so tired of toxic people. I'm tired of the whole that people like me and my friends, the type of effect we let them have on us, to the point that we're so damaged we don't see any hope of escaping that relationship. We don't see any worth of taking ourselves out of that relationship, because even if it's as toxic can be, it's a relationship that we still have with somebody that sometimes makes us feel good or gives us a false sense of feeling good. And I knew her relationship with this person was toxic when she told me that she's given all she can give, so she hope it isn't for nothing. If you ever have to feel like that, that's not a relationship you need to be in. A true, honest, loving relationship is one that builds us up. We shouldn't be giving our all to somebody that won't even give us a crumb. Or they give us this artificial crumb. Like they're really going out of their way to accommodate you, when really you're the one putting in most, if not all, the work. I've dealt with that, and I see that so much. And I was telling my mom, I was like, I never thought I would be in this type of situation that I've been in. And she was like, really? I don't know why you didn't think that. And I was like, because high school, that's when I really started this whole giving advice to women. Because one of my friends, I've always been like the oldest in the group. Like, shoot, at work, all my friends are younger females. Like, they're not young, was like 17 and up, but none of them are even 20 yet. Actually, one of my friends should be 20 this year. But it's like I've always been the older one, so I've always had the older, wiser, maybe like big brother. They call me uncle now, but like big brother, uncle type of vibe for people. So I've always been giving advice since high school. But for back then, it was like it was never that deep. It was just like, you just like this guy and he doesn't really want to give you the time of the day. And you probably like the chase, but you need to let him go. It's going to get better in the end. Stuff like that. And now it's like literally mentally and physically damaging. Not physically like they're abused. As far as I know, let me find out. Anyway, as emotionally abusive as it is, like so toxic, they have this hold on my friends, and it's like I never thought that things would be this serious, or that I would even be friends with said toxic people. And it's like, I can't believe that. Actually, yeah, I can. That's a lie. I have such a healing spirit. People always gravitate towards me when there's something wrong. People know that they can go to me when they need something, or when they need comforting words. So I should have known that eventually a toxic person would come around, because they need as much love as we all do. They just take it, but they don't give back. And the problem, I don't remember if I said this, and that's sad because it was probably like 5 minutes ago that I just talked about this. But the problem with toxic people a lot of times is the fact that they're missing something in life. Something in their childhood affected them this way. But at the same time, it's like, even if you try to be understanding, that's still not a relationship for you. I just saw this post on Instagram. This girl was talking about her boyfriend who had committed suicide. And she was saying how he already had issues. Like, he didn't have a relationship with his mom. I don't think she's gonna see this, but I'm not trying to put your business out there. I don't even remember uh your Instagram, but it's in my head. She was talking about how he didn't have a relationship with his mom, and his grandma had passed, so he was really going off the deep end. And she said they got into like a physical fight, and he was just beating her. And she said she stayed a lot of times because of the fact that he would threaten to commit suicide, and she had the feeling that it was a serious promise, not a threat. And she said one day they were done fighting, and she thought she had calmed him down, and he laid on her and committed suicide. And it's like those type of relationships I don't wish on anybody, because, and I don't want to disrespect the dead, but he needed help. A lot of people that are toxic don't understand the levels of toxic and how it affects other people. They worry more about their emotions and their need to have something or somebody around. And I get that, but I also get how damaging it is for other people, because I'm still recovering from my own toxic relationship encounters because of the fact that I've doubted myself so much in my gut and my feelings that, like, right now I'm in a good spot because I took a lot of time to sleep. Like, I woke up, I had those negative thoughts, I just kind of went back to sleep, and I woke up more recovered. My issues I've been having lately is just I've been worn down, and I have this little voice in the back of my head that sounds just like me, that keeps telling me how much I suck and I'm a failure whenever I try to think of, or whenever I'm not trying to think of something. Because I'm working on, this month in July, I'm working on positive affirmations for myself. Because I have a lot of negative thoughts about myself just creeping in the back of my head when it comes to different things, because either because of my inexperience or my past experiences, and the fact that I've just always had doubts with myself. I don't I don't trust myself anymore, because even as I'm working towards becoming the type of person that I knew I can be, trusting my instinct and my gut feelings and everything that I know is right, and that I know that I can be trusted with myself, I still have those doubts, because it's like I've spent so much time not trusting myself. That's like, you've made so many mistakes before. How do you even know that what you're doing now is right? Even though I know almost 100% that I am doing the right thing for myself, I still find a way to have doubts. Find a way to consider other people's emotions over my own. Because I've been turning kind of cold. Like, I haven't really been wanting to talk to people as much. I distance myself from people a lot more. I spend a lot of time just being quiet unless I'm around people I like. And even then, if something frustrates me, I just stop talking. And I don't say anything to anybody. And I've been kind of isolating myself. Because another thing I've had a problem with is I've been working myself practically to death, I feel like. I haven't been taking care of my body as much, and I've been stressing so much, and I've been angry so much that it's literally affecting me. Like, I think right now my chest is congested because, I slice onions at work, and some of those onions weren't necessarily the best onions. So I feel like breathing that in has affected me, and I just feel like something right in this area. But I knew it was bad when I had a dream that I essentially had a heart attack. Like, in the dream, I was running around trying to do too much, and I had a chest pain, shortness of breath, and I fell to my knees. And then I collapsed. I didn't pass out or anything, because I was crawling to still make sure I got whatever it was I needed done. I was like, I can't die because I still have to finish whatever it is I need to do. And it's like, Why do I do this to myself? Because I don't trust myself enough. I never trusted that if I only got certain things done today, then it's fine. Because the person that I work for has a habit of pointing out everything you do wrong instead of what you're doing right. Because he feels like if we just do this, or we just do this, or we just do this, then the store's going to be better. Nothing works like that. Like the type of business that I'm in right now, it's all chance. Sometimes it's just not in the cards for us to have a good sales week or good survey week or good donations week. It's just not in the cards. And the fact that you're going around trying to stress everybody out, you're making everybody mad. One dude just quit. He's not going to be the last person to quit. I already see it working out. It's just like I'm not gonna say I hate it, but I hate how the operation is run because there's so much focus on the business itself that you don't even care about the employees. And that's the problem. Me, a simple, I'm not gonna say simple, I'm very complex crew member because there's so much I can do. I'm so good for the people that I don't understand why somebody that isn't is in the position that they're in. Like, I'm there practically 24/7. I've learned and observed practically everybody at the job. I know who works, I know who don't. I was gonna say who doesn't, but then I know who works, I know who doesn't. I know how somebody works, I know how fast they work, I know how slow they work, I know what position they work best in, I know what they want to learn to do. It's like I've sat and took time to learn everybody at the job, and I'm the person that they go to when they need comfort. And I give tough love, so I'm one of those stern people that's like, I'm gonna make sure that you're straight whether you want to be straight or not. So it's like me being in the position I'm in, it's so frustrating because it's like, okay, everybody has a good day when Dale's around or when the other manager's around, but then this person comes and asks all the work I done put in up and then tells us where we're doing wrong. But it's like, nothing is set in stone. These people are not robots. You have to be accommodating for people if you expect people to accommodate for you. And my problem is I've been way more accommodating for people than people have been accommodating for me. And that's another thing. It's so hard when you feel like you're falling apart to continue to feel like you need to put other people first. Because I'm not gonna lie, a lot of my friends at the job, like, I think it's funny, and it's not funny in the sense of the topic. It's just funny because like I said, I never expected to be like this. But a lot of my friends we all kind of talk about death a lot. We're a little morbid. I keep talking about how I feel like I would have a heart attack at the job just because of how much stress I've been putting on myself. And I'm not putting it in the universe to say, oh yeah, universe, give me a heart attack. I'm saying it as a way to hold myself accountable for my health. Because if I do have a heart attack, God forbid, it will still be my own fault because I've been doing so much more than I needed to do and been working so much harder than I needed to that I put my body under this amount of stress. I haven't been taking care of myself. So when I say that, I'm holding myself accountable. If this were to happen, it's your fault. You need to do better. You got to take care of yourself. Stop worrying so much about other people. But it's just, my friends, like I said, that have been in toxic relationships are just stressed about a lot of stuff. I still try to take care of them. And it's hard at times when I'm worn down to keep up the bravado. And it's like I don't have to. I just feel like I need to because, I don't know. I've been more open about my feelings with these people. I was telling my one of my friends how I felt like, everybody loves me, but I'll probably end up being that grandpa / uncle that you only see on the holidays and nobody cares about you for the rest of the year. And I'll probably die alone. It's like I don't see that realistically happening, but I see it being a possibility just because of past like experiences, because I'm not really putting myself out there. And I feel like I'm not gonna say I'm easily forgettable, but I've let a lot of stuff slide. That's another reason why I'm so frustrated. Cause like after having lost those toxic relationships, you realize there's only a couple people around you, and those are the best people for you. But it still tends to feel lonely when you still realize that those people still have things going on. Like, I talk to one person every day. And a lot of times when we don't talk, it kind of sucks because it's like, dang, now I got to entertain myself. And I don't think that's sad. We have a good relationship, and I rely on her conversation a lot more than she might know. Because, like I said, I don't really be talking to people like that. Then I get in these moods where I feel like cutting everything off and just isolating myself, and that's frustrating too, because it's like that's when the people are usually around. It's like I don't want to be mean and cold, but that's how I feel a lot of times. And it's like I'm tired of putting on this fake mask, but I'm also tired of having my emotions fluctuate. And they don't fluctuate. It's not like I'm bipolar or anything, because it's a gradual change, and it's an understandable change because of just how much I've allowed myself to deal with. I've been frustrated. Like I'm allowed that, but a lot of people don't deserve my cold heart. So I try to isolate myself from it, and it's gotten to the point that the only comforting mechanism that I really have is sleep and holding on to my extra pillow. That's the most comfort I get nowadays. And I didn't think much of it because I started sleeping with like 2 months ago, but I just kind of had it there as like an extra comfort. Now I like literally grip it because that's all I got. And that's sad, but like I said, I'm working on positive affirmations this month. And while it is sad, it's understandable. The loneliest time in your life is when you overcome a toxic relationship, because there's so much about yourself that you have to continue to accept, and a lot of things that you have to let go of. One of the biggest things I struggled with was memories, because a lot of times the reason why I didn't cut off a toxic relationship when I should have was, one, I doubted myself, and two, I kept thinking about the good times. There'll be more good times just like that, right? No, a toxic relationship does not get better. You get a false sense of betterhood, but it doesn't get better. It's like good enough to where it keeps you around, and that's it. It doesn't get better, but you can bet your butt it gets worse. And that's the frustrating thing to deal with, because you think, well, what are all these good memories for? Like, why would you even waste my time putting this expectation of yourself in my mind, knowing that every time I think about our relationship, that's the person I expect you to be. You give me a semblance of that person, but it's a facade. No part of that is how you plan on treating me for the rest of your life. You're going to take and take and take. You're going to get what you can get from me. And when I no longer become useful, you discard me as if I was some type of trash on the street. You don't love me. You might have had some type of love for me. You might have loved what I've done for you. But ultimately, you don't love me. Because if you loved me, you would respect me. And if you respected me, you wouldn't do certain things. You wouldn't treat me a certain way because you know that you respect and love me enough not to. But I should have known how you treat other people is how you're going to treat me. This falsehood of love was never how you really felt about me. Your true intentions showed themselves the moment I saw you, the moment our relationship got to a point. The first bad thing I saw, the first red flag should have been the first and only sign I needed to leave, but it wasn't. Because I tried to love you. I tried to give you the love that I know you've been missing in life. That's why you kept me around. You've been missing it. I was providing it for free. Why buy the cow when you're getting the milk for free, they say. We've all had our toxic relationships, I'm sure. We've all been the toxic person in our life sometimes, and if you haven't, thank God for you, because that's even more baggage you're going to have to deal with once you get out of that relationship. I've been toxic. So a lot of times my thinking is, oh, well, you deserve it because you know how you treated such and such back in like 5th grade. Or because you did this in middle school when you was dating that one girl. Now this is going to happen to you for the rest of your life. Karma. No, I don't know how karma works, but I don't think it works like that. I think a lot of our own karma is the fact that we allow ourselves to deal with exactly what we feel like we should be dealing with. A lot of people in toxic relationships feel like, well, this is what I deserve. Or I deserve better, but. That's all it takes is a but. Any ounce of doubt that you have about yourself is going to keep you in an effed up situation way longer than it needs to. And that doubt is so frustrating to have, I'll tell you. Shoot, most of my adult life has been shrouded in doubt. And I've been so confident lately too. And it's like when I'm confident. But when in the wee hours of the night, I'm just sitting in bed alone, that's when those thoughts start creeping in. Or I think about something where I feel like, hey, I'm handling this the right way, but not really caring. But are you? What about their feelings? What if what you think is wrong because you don't know them like that? You don't know what they're going through. You don't know their struggles. Well, what about mine? They don't take that into consideration when they do what they do they? So why should I? Because you're a good person, right? You're supposed to care. If you don't care, you're just like them. No. Because how I treat myself and how I treat others is the true key to the type of person I am. How they treat others and how they treat themselves is the true key of their true selves. I don't have to prove my worth to anybody. I never did. The whole time I was sitting there trying to prove my worth to other people when I needed to be proving it to this guy right here. I know my worth. I know what I'm capable of. I know the effects of not knowing your worth and doubting yourself. I know what that can do to you. God forbid anything happens to me, I will post it on YouTube as an example of what not to do. And when I overcome this situation, I'll talk about that too. Because this is the type of stuff that I want my viewers to hear and see. I want to be an example of what to and what not to do in life. Like, I'm not going to be a clear cut because everybody has their own situations and things that they deal with and whatnot. But I want to be the person that you can see, hey, they dealt with this, they dealt with that, they've overcome this, they've overcome that. Now they're in a better place. It would be a hopeful story for you and me both. Because I can just look back, my future wife, I can just be like, hey, I got 300 videos at this point that you can watch if you ever have any questions about the type of person I used to be. All the terrible hairstyles I've had, all the terrible thoughts I've had, the terrible jokes. I'm still not funny. I'm corny, but I'm funny in a corny sense. You know, this channel for me is a chance to look back at myself and see where I'm at. Cause I know I used to rag on my younger self a lot. Like back when I was younger, I used to rag on my younger self. And it's like I don't want to do that anymore, because that's also a form of self-hate. If you go around thinking, man, I was so dumb that one time in 5th grade I should have gave that girl my cookie, or I should have ate my cookie, and I'm trying to be friends, so now I lost a cookie and I really missed that chocolate chip. It's like little stuff like that is a form of self-hate, and we're not doing that. It's 2019. We don't do self-hate. Period. But yeah, I'm basically not going back, because I've never left. I've just deviated from the path a little bit. But I'm working on my self-love. Like I said, positive affirmations this month in particular this month is where I'm gonna start really focusing on it. That's digging deep down into my childhood and not cringing, but instead embracing. Shoot, looking back on past mistakes I made just this year alone and embracing. Hey, I didn't know as much as I needed to know back then. It was a lesson I needed to learn, obviously. I'm moving forward. I'm doing better for myself. I will not let this bring me down, because it doesn't need to, it doesn't have to, and I won't let it. My health and my physical and mental health is much more important than any issue I could have with myself from the past for not knowing anything. How can I be mad at myself when I didn't know as much, and not be mad at somebody else for not knowing as much? It doesn't work like that. We're all learning. Once the lesson is learned, it might take us a little time to really figure it out. Like, God has to send us another message. What you say, God? I didn't get it. I didn't quite get it the first time. You think you could tell me again? There's nothing wrong with that. We've all been to school. Shoot, sometimes you have to take tutoring because you don't understand nothing. It doesn't make you dumb. Some people might say it does. It just means you really need to take the time to understand. You need a one-on-one with somebody that knows something you don't. So it's not bad. It's really not. As long as you're working on bettering yourself, that's all that matters. No more debilitating thoughts. No more self-hate. Embrace the you that you are at any given point in time. Look back on that embarrassing moment you had 15 years ago and say, hey, that was embarrassing, but it was kind of funny. I see why it happened. It still kind of happens, It's funny. It makes people laugh. It's not a bad thing. We all have embarrassing moments. You have to embrace it. No more self-hate. No more self-hating thoughts the most. You can say it out loud, but it's the thoughts that creep in the middle of the night when you're by yourself that really, truly affect you the most. Well, I'll see you in about another month. Thanks for watching this video. Thank you to all the people who have subscribed up until this point of me making this video, and who will subscribe in the future. I feel like one day when I get up there and have more of a following on social medias, that I want to just kind of have like live chats on Instagram, just talking about different things. That's something I keep thinking about in my mind. I know this is my cheek. I was going to put it right here, but then I got lazy. But that's just what I've been thinking about. It's something I continuously think about, just going on live and doing a little thing, talking to people, interacting with you guys, as well as people on my other social media. It's just, I feel like that would be be good. One day I definitely want to have like different friends on here so we can talk about different things. So you can really get an understanding of their viewpoints as well as mine about different things. I might be able to set that up. We'll see. But that's it. I'm out.